Please welcome University of Kentucky Associate Vice President of Research, Innovation, and Economic Impact, Ian McClure.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and thanks for being here. I'm incredibly excited to be here. My first time in Hazard, actually. I came in and had lunch at Francis Diner, had a fantastic chicken fried steak, was really excited. Thanks. And the fried okra. Don't forget to get that when you're there. And just really want to say thanks to SOAR. What SOAR does for this region, for the state, is phenomenal. This event is just like tip of the iceberg of the things I know that Colby and his team does. And we at the University of Kentucky have really enjoyed partnering with SOAR on just raising the entire profile of the state. Love the work that they do. So thanks for putting on this event and allowing me to share it with you. I'm going to share just a few comments ahead of an exciting part of this entire event, the pitch competition, which I'm excited about coming up next. And I hope that maybe just a few of my comments here can sort of contextualize and provide some momentum as we swing into some really neat ideas that we're about to hear from. My entire background, my whole career has been dedicated to this intersection around innovation, entrepreneurship, and intellectual property. I started my career as a mergers and acquisitions attorney, but quickly left private practice to go start a company. My wife was really excited about that move at the time. And that company was built around intellectual property strategy, intellectual property licensing. But I want to provide some context to my comments and really to contextualize some of my comments around small company entrepreneurship and the importance of taking the right steps. Really comes from my background when I was at an investment bank working for large, giant tech companies. And let me explain. Our group, we did what we call IP-driven transactions. That's a fancy way of saying that we worked for large, big tech companies like Google and Apple and companies like that, and they would tell us their dirtiest secrets about the products they wanted to make in 10 or 15 years. Really cool to be in those rooms. And then our job was to go and find the intellectual property, the small startup companies, the technologies that they didn't have, that they needed to acquire so that they could get where they needed to go. Now, at the time, I was thinking, man, these big companies, they have all the power, right? They can just go and spend whatever cash they need to build and clear that road for themselves. But what I realized after some time is actually what was happening is those big companies were forced to have respect for those small companies that had built things before the big companies. And they had to respect them because they identified and appropriately protected one thing, and that was their intellectual property. If they did not have that intellectual property appropriately identified, categorized, and protected, those big companies would actually have told us, forget it, we'll beat them in the market, right? So let me contextualize just a few things. Intellectual property for me is a nexus to entrepreneurship success when we're talking about innovative tech-based entrepreneurship. There's three reasons that intellectual property protection is really, really important. First, it commands respect from competitors. It's the only barrier to entry. It's the only market share that you can have that is federally protected by federal law, actually, right? You can beat someone to market. You can have a relationship with a customer someone else doesn't have. But those things actually aren't protected by federal law. Here's why that's important. A patent filed by a company here in Eastern Kentucky has the same value as a patent filed by a company in Silicon Valley. We have different access to capital, different access to talent, and access to distribution and supply channels. But a patent filed here is just as valuable as a patent filed in Silicon Valley because they're protected by the same federal law, okay? Number two, intellectual property signals innovative capacity and legitimacy to investors. Here's an incredible stat. From an MIT study a few years ago, you are 4,000 times more likely to raise venture capital if you have intellectual property. And that's not just patents. That's trademarks and copyrights. Did you know that you don't even have to register a trademark or a copyright to own one? To have that actually protected? You do have to recognize that you have a trademark that has protection rights and a copyright. But if you fix a form let's say you have a unique product purchase form, and it actually helps make your process more efficient than a competitor. That form is a piece of intellectual property. You have to recognize that, right? That's a copyrightable form. And actually, that copyrightable form is intellectual property protected in a court, okay? The last one is it creates a bridge to partnership. People often like to talk about the exclusive nature of intellectual property, right? We have this thing, it's ours, we have exclusive rights over it, and we get to sort of put it in the corner with the dogs and have the dogs chase after anyone who comes close. Actually, intellectual property has an inclusive nature. It is the reason, I mentioned, right? I represented big companies that would buy small companies for the purpose that they had intellectual property that they needed, right? And technology, right? It was actually the intellectual property that forged that partnership, that acquisition, that relationship. And often intellectual property becomes you tap into the inclusive nature of IP to get to an acquisition point or a supplier relationship or other types of partnership. So let me talk a little bit about the relationship between that and commercialization. Commercialization it's a long and windy road. It's a challenge, right? It takes, you have to have patience and persevere, right, through this process, okay? 4 things that are really important to commercialization. There's lots of things that are important to successful commercialization, but here's 4 quick tidbits, and we heard some really good ones earlier from Jane. One is risk tolerance. You have to be willing to take a risk. We've heard that a few times today. Just take that leap, you know? And that is one, and you have to persevere through that leap, okay? The next is identify and protect your intellectual property, whatever that might be. Doesn't have to be a patent, right? It can be trademark, copyright, process. If you're a restaurant and you attract customers because of the way your store looks, that is actually trade dress. That's protectable intellectual property, okay? Next is a clear understanding of who your customer is and what your customer wants. This is pivotal, right, in successful commercialization. You can make the best product in the world, but if the person or company or system, whoever it is that is your buyer, doesn't actually like it or can't actually justify the investment because it doesn't have X, Y, or Z, then you actually don't have the best product in the world in terms of commercialization, okay? And then the last is just a willingness to fail. Through that perseverance, you have to be willing to fail. I had my own startup. I mentioned up in Chicago, we raised $10 million. I had a team of 30 people, 3 offices in Chicago and Charlotte and Tokyo. And I actually failed. Took us 6.5 years to eventually do so. We actually raised $20 million when it was all said and done. We failed for 2 reasons that are now why I do what I do now, right? We didn't actually truly understand who our customer was until it was too late. 3-4 years down the line, we figured out who our customer actually was. It wasn't who we were chasing for the first 3 years. And the next is we didn't pivot when we should have. When we found out who our actual customer was and what they actually wanted, we weren't willing to pivot the way we should have. You have to be willing to pivot. And so my journey in entrepreneurship, although it was a failure in the sense as we didn't, get to where we wanted to go, I learned a ton. And those are the 2 main things that I learned that I like to share with the startups I work with today. Luckily, we have resources here in the state. At UK Innovate at the University of Kentucky, we have a land grant mission. We are focused on raising the bar for economic development, tech-based economic development across the state. And we have immersed ourselves in a number of programs that include resources available to everyone here in the room. Just a few of those resources. The first resource is for IP is called Kentucky Intellectual Property Alliance, or KIPA. If you are interested in this, how do I identify and or protect or make sure that my intellectual property position is creating competitive advantage for me, come join KIPA. We have monthly events. It's a great community across the state for Kentuckians that need to know more and educate themselves around intellectual property. There is universities believe it or not, are resources to you as entrepreneurs. We have a program here in the state called Kentucky Commercialization Ventures. It's a partnership between all of our universities across the state, all of our public institutions, and our community and technical colleges, like this one right here, this fantastic room that we're in. And the goal is for those universities to have resources and entrepreneurship and innovation capacity for their ideas that happen on campus. But even if you're not on one of those campuses, there is subject matter expertise at all of those institutions. Right here, there are teachers that are subject matter experts in certain fields that if you bring your ideas to them and talk about them, they can be a resource to help develop, test, pilot those technologies. So consider that and the Kentucky Commercialization Ventures program. Also, KSTC, so Kentucky Science and Technology Corporation, is the tech-based economic development organization serving Kentucky. Fantastic team. Some of them are here today. You'll hear from them. Investment programs, innovation, education, training programs. So consider them. And then don't forget SOAR right here. They are a resource for commercialization here in Eastern Kentucky. All right, top 3 things to remember, and then I'm going to leave it to new and budding ideas so you can hear them. If you're thinking about or actually immersing yourself already in entrepreneurship, commercialization, do not forget, understand your customer and understand what your customer wants. Commit yourself to what we call customer discovery, okay? Ask questions, approach your customers, talk to them first, then productize. Identify and protect your IP. Don't forget that that is the only federally protected barrier of entry to market, and it creates a level playing field for companies right here in Kentucky. Finally, don't be afraid to pivot. When you actually learn what your company wants, don't be bullheaded and keep going straight. Take a left turn because that's what they're telling you to do, and then you'll find yourself in a better place. All right, I'm excited about what's next. Thanks to SOAR, thanks to Colby for inviting me here. University of Kentucky is excited about what's about to happen in this room, and so thanks for having me and letting me speak to you for a few minutes.
Got to turn it down a little bit. Got a short girl up here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 Startup Appalachia Pitch Competition presented by Community Trust. My name is Sabrina McWhorter. I'm the Manager of Business and Innovation for SOAR, and tonight we have 6 amazing finalists from across Eastern Kentucky competing for that big old check over there, $10,000. How exciting. These businesses have worked so hard to get to this point. So let's make sure to make some noise. Make sure you grabbed one of those noise makers. Yes, that's right. Let's make some noise and show them how amazing they are. We want you guys to have fun, to be inspired, to cheer as loud as you possibly can, and be sure to check out the big poster at the back that has the QR code where you can learn more about each of the finalists. They do have display tables. If you all look back on the very back wall, there are display tables, but while people are presenting, I really ask that you remain in your seats, give them the utmost attention that they deserve, and then during the networking break, you all feel free to get back there and look at all their amazing displays. Before I introduce the judges, I want to give a quick thanks to my amazing team. I see a couple of you. There's one backstage. So Tao, Cole, and Kristen, if you all can raise your hand. Kristen's in the back so you can't see her. Thank you, guys. We could not do it without them, so thank you again. Yes, get those noisemaker going. We like that. All right, so now let's have some fun. Everyone, please stand up to your feet. Make some noise for our amazing judges. The party is about to get started. Here come our judges. First up, we have Kelby Price, the Executive Director for Venture Finance for KSTC. Monique Quarterman, Kentucky Innovation Deputy Executive Director. And Molly Powell, the Entrepreneurial Ecosystem Development Team. Yes. while we introduce the next person, you're more than welcome to. So the time that you all have been waiting for is finally here. Let's start this pitch competition. First up, we have Dakota Hoskins, Safari Car Wash. Make some noise for him. Come on, guys.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name's Dakota Hoskins. I'm 23 years old and I'm the owner-operator of Safari Solutions. Just to give you a little background on the company, last fall I've been a car wash operator for around 5 years now, and I was attending the trade show in Las Vegas for other car washes and all the vendors there. And I was there to mainly see what marketing opportunities we had access to promote our Unlimited Wash Club program. And several companies met this criteria, but the main company was called OpSpot. And we got a real good relationship with Levi, and he's like, we would love to help you market your wash program, but you have to have a barcode scanner. And here you can see this is a kiosk similar to what our washes look like, and none of those had barcode scanners. So we thought, well, we'd love to do OpSpot, but it wasn't an option for us. So on the flight home from Las Vegas, I looked at my dad and I said, I'm going to invent a barcode scanner. And he said, you're going to do what? And I said, I'm going to invent a barcode scanner that can integrate with any car wash. And that's what happened. So just a little info on OpSpot to help you understand our barcode scanning technologies. The program works, you would put a sign up similar to like this one on your location of your business, and you would text a code to get a barcode on your smartphone. Now you're gonna think, why would anybody give away a free car wash? But as soon as you text, we've gained that cell phone number for future marketing purposes. So if we can gain 4,000 or 5,000 cell phone numbers, that's huge for marketing. So that was the need for the barcode scanner, because without this scanner, we couldn't use OpSpot to market the car wash. The problem, there was no retrofit solution available. So the only option to participate in programs like OpSpot was to buy a whole new machine like this one for $50,000 or $60,000 to get access to that technology. The need, this product could easily increase revenue up to 30 to 40%. So in car wash terms, that would be an additional $30,000 to $40,000 a year per location. A little bit about our product. So we have two different products. The first one is like this, and like you see on the kiosk here, and it's a fixed mount. So you just drill 3 holes and very easy installation. And then later on, we invented a handheld scanner for attended washes with no kiosk. We have a dashboard so the operator can check the health, check the status of each unit. They can pulse the wash remotely to activate the wash. And they can also generate up to 10,000 barcodes at one time. So you don't have to call in and pay a fee for each barcode to support or anything like that. It's all done right there from the dashboard. Installation, 1, 2, 3. Drill 3 holes. This can easily be installed in 15 minutes or less, and we support hardwired and wireless internet connections. Pricing, the tunnel is a little bit higher, and that's just solely based on the increased volume they're doing. A tunnel might do 5 times the volume of say an IBA location. So the monthly fee is only $29 per month for the in-bay location, and then there's a $500 setup fee for each unit. And that is per lane. So if a car wash had 3 lanes, that would be per unit. Just a little bit about our customers. So the transition, I came up with this idea last fall at the trade show in Las Vegas, and there I was as a car wash operator. In mid-May, I attended the Nashville trade show as an exhibitor, and that was the unveiling of this product. And we had a lot of interest from not only individual operators, but also corporate interest in possibly even 2,000 or 3,000 units for chains. A little bit about our competition. We've touched a little on this. So a lot of these machines, as you can see here in this display, they're bricked in. So not only is the machine $50,000 or even $60,000, now you've got to hire a contractor to come in and jackhammer out all this brick, and that's going to result in significant downtime for the car wash. And our retrofit solution, it's a 15-minute install and very low cost to get the same abilities. Here's kind of where we're at with sales and our projections. This year we'll sell a little over 200 units. We currently have over 15 in the field since we started shipping on June 1st. And these are very conservative numbers. Just a little idea on the sales. So in the blue here, this would be our one-time setup fees. So the goal of the company is the orange being the residual monthly income from the monthly fees. So as you can see, over time, we're going to drastically increase that residual income. A little bit about our team and how this product became what it is today. I have a background in electrical, and I knew how to start the car wash, but what I didn't understand was how do we link all this to a server and handle the one-time use codes. So that's when I hired Victor. He's our software engineer, and I found him on Upwork. I was like, how do I find a coder? So I got on Upwork, and he understood the code. Here you can see a picture of some of our code. Our needs, we need additional resources in almost every capacity, specifically inventory, and we've got to work on some protection for this. This idea is not only relevant to car washes, but also many other sectors in the industry. So we're already looking at getting this in vending, C-stores, etc. And lastly, this is going to create lots of high-paying technology jobs for local Kentucky here. We already need an additional programmer, and we hope to grow the car wash industry as a whole. So we're ready to take Safari Solutions to the next level with your support, and I'd love to answer any questions the judges might have. Thank you.
Dakota, fantastic presentation. Thank you so much. Really nice work. And also, thank you for being first up. Being first to pitch is a hard position to be in, and you handled it fantastically. I can tell you in Kentucky, the 2021 Global Health Innovation Conference pitch champion is from Eastern Kentucky. I see a wonderful, bright future for you. Thank you for going first. My question here is, how did you go about your customer discovery process? With this being such a complex system, I'd imagine that you'd have to walk some of these washes and really understand how it works in real time. Can you describe a little bit how you struck up those relationships?
Absolutely. So that was a huge challenge for this product because every car wash is activated in a different way. And our programming is in milliseconds. So like some car washes, they require pulses in milliseconds. So it's a 50 on, 50 off pulse, and that's what starts the car wash. So I had to work with almost all the car wash manufacturers of the many different machines to be able to make this product integrate with any system.
Thank you.
Hey, I am wondering if you can tell me would you say like the number one challenge you foresee when it comes to customer acquisition? If this, I understand, helps car washes be more competitive, would I want to buy this if I know my competing car wash already has it? How are you going to work around that?
Sure, that's a great question. So, monthly memberships is the latest hype in the car wash industry. And it's like your cell phone bill. If you have AT&T, you're rarely going to cancel and go to Verizon. So this solution is helping car washes acquire those members first. And that's a huge advantage in the car wash industry. And additionally, when you can show somebody you can increase their revenue by $30,000, $40,000 for only a $500 fee, it's an easy sale.
Thanks.
As you were thinking about business models, you've got a recurring fee and then a hardware cost. You call it a setup fee. How did you weigh going that route, which is a hybrid versus everything in terms of a lease or recurring revenue kind of a way, or all hardware up front? And then what are the margins?
Sure. So it costs just about $350 to produce the unit and ship it out. And the recurring fees was kind of meant to build our server capacity, because the more codes a wash has, obviously, the more server capacity we need. But originally, I was looking at a one-time $1,300 fee, and a company said, "You're crazy. Do you want to make money or just give it for free?" So that was kind of how we decided on the tiered model to help with that.
And the margins?
So we're at about 55% margin on the unit itself, and that will come better with scalability.
Thanks.
Thank you.
How incredible was Dakota? Thank you so much, Dakota. Let's give him some noise. Perfect. Thank you, Tao, for grabbing that. All right, we're going to have a little bit of fun now. So trivia time. If you know the answers, shout it very loud. Kristen, take it away. Oh, I guess raise your hand. That would be more easy. Testing. Oh. Hang on. And if you win, you get a 6-pack of L8. Can you get more Kentucky than that?
I think raising hands is a little more fair than just shouting it out. You all might get in the tussle out there. All right, our first question. Which Kentucky city was the birthplace of Kentucky Fried Chicken and the home of Colonel Harlan Sanders? You got it, girl.
All right, Susie.
Yes. Colonel Sanders began selling fried chicken from his roadside restaurant in Corbin during the Great Depression. The first franchise location of KFC was opened in Salt Lake City, Utah.
I think that was a little bit weighted and not fair. Come on. That's okay. You earned that. That's okay. And yes, next trivia question, that enthusiasm was what we're looking for. All right, perfect. Thanks, Kristen. All right, let's welcome our next finalist, Kyle Mann.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Kyle Mann. What if I told you that you would be taking a test today that would determine your future? A test that would open or close the doors of educational, life, and career opportunities. It would be unimaginable to show up for a test like this completely unprepared, correct? Well, unfortunately, this is the reality that students are facing every day when taking the ACT college admissions test. 1.6 million students take the ACT every year. Kentucky and 14 other states provide the ACT to their high school juniors free of charge. This costs Kentucky over $3 million every year. But without equitable access to comprehensive test prep, students are not meeting their full potential and the state's investment is not being fully maximized. Low ACT scores are causing our students to lose out on thousands of dollars of scholarship funding, causing them to take expensive and time-consuming college remedial courses, and preventing them from college and career opportunities. This vast unmet need, along with my own struggles to access high-quality ACT test prep in high school, inspired me to make the path easier for other students. Today, I am happy to introduce you to UpScore Test Prep. UpScore Test Prep is a one-stop online program that brings order to the chaos of resources to make test prep easy for programs and schools, and it's the only resource that these students need. UpScore partners with high schools, programs such as Gear Up and Upward Bound, and individuals nationwide to level the playing field and provide ACT test prep to all students. UpScore's program consists of 85 videos, 1,600 practice questions, 5 full-length tests, and 81 lessons. The course covers every question type on the ACT. All program content is finished and has been uploaded to our website. UpScore is more than an idea. I have personally invested over 5,000 hours into developing our program, and I am incredibly excited to give you a glimpse into the high-caliber educational platform that we offer in our ACT review course. This is an example of a school super administrator's dashboard. This is an example of the teacher's dashboard. And this is an example of the platform that our students use. The entire program is incredibly intuitive and easy to use for our users. This is an example of the testing module that our students take their full-length diagnostic test on. At the very start of the program, students take a full-length diagnostic test. This diagnostic test creates a learning plan for every student to follow. The learning plan generates the lessons that a student needs to focus on to be able to improve their scores in the shortest amount of time. Another key component of our program is that it engages all student learning styles. Every question on the ACT is broken down into a written lesson, a video lecture, and a 10-question practice quiz with detailed answer explanations. The program also incorporates test prep strategies to give our students every advantage possible. Personalized badges and certificates encourage our students every step of the way in their learning journey. UpScore has 6 detailed analytical reports that allow our users to easily monitor student progress and performance. They're also filterable, and they can be filtered by things such as grade level, gender, race, and ethnicity to allow our users to identify key student populations and help them to close student achievement gaps. Student subscriptions are valid for a 6-month period, and all subjects can be purchased for the price of $2.99 per student's subscription. Individual subjects can also be purchased. This is a key advantage because recently the ACT allows you to retake specific subjects, and our competitors have yet to add this into their programs. UpScore school and program subscriptions are valid for 1 year. The price ranges from $59 to $99 per student seat. The main individual test prep competitors are Kaplan and the Princeton Review. These programs offer good test prep, but they are very expensive. They're not designed for schools and programs, and they have a mix of learning resources. They are also limited in their functionalities and comprehensiveness, especially at that introductory price level. Mastery Prep and Cert Prep are the 2 school-based programs. Mastery Prep is very expensive. It's not fully online, and there are numerous itemized products that schools must purchase to put together a comprehensive course. CERT, on the other hand, is the cheapest option, but it has very limited content outside of these practice tests. UpScore has incorporated all of the best features and strategies into a fully online, economically priced program that includes all of the test prep resources needed by our partners. I am the right person to transform ACT test prep because of my strong desire and commitment to helping all students have the educational resources they need. I have researched and collaborated with numerous high-achieving students, professionals, and educational experts who were inspired by the mission of UpScore and helped us build our program from the ground up. Over the next few months, we will be completing website development and partnering with schools and programs to offer subscriptions to gather user feedback and improve program effectiveness. We are projecting an operational budget of $100,000 for our first operational school year, selling 334 individual student subscriptions or 1,266 organization subscriptions will allow us to break even at this operational budget. I am seeking funding to pilot UpScore in the upcoming school year. A funding partner is needed to catapult UpScore's launch and accelerate our learning in Kentucky and nationwide. Thank you.
Great job. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the mission and the focus on equity and making test prep more accessible, but I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the business model and who pays and how you're ensuring equity. If school is the payer or if students are, how can you ensure that they can still afford this if there is still a price to it?
So the business is set up to be able to be sold to individual students or organizations to help us get the business off the ground initially. Schools can apply for grant funding to help pay for this in their schools, and that's a good avenue that they could go down to getting this program implemented in their school systems.
Do you have any schools doing that right now?
I currently am at that point where I'm ready to move this product forward shortly, and I need that partner to push me over that edge and to get this out there, because it has just such a need out there, and I feel like it could scale quickly and on a national level.
Absolutely, thanks.
I'd love to know more about trends. What's the difference in your mind 10 years ago versus today, and maybe 10 years from now, in terms of access to those resources, considering the internet and these competitors? You mentioned 2 direct competitors. Mm-hmm. And then what's the relevance, in your opinion, of ACT and SAT testing, standardized testing, off into the future? Sort of where's the trend going and what's the opportunity?
I think that the opportunity is just going to get more and more. The need for it is going to increase in the future because the recent pandemic has put strain on our educational system, and additional resources are needed for students to catch up where they are so behind. And I think outside partnerships are needed to give schools that competitive edge to catch their students up so they can be competitive.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And shout out to Dr. Bates in the room from University of Louisville. I learned a lot about pitches from watching the programs that she's put in place in Kentucky with NIH. I can say right now, I wish all of the pitches that I see on a day-to-day basis have this much poise. You're super sharp, really, really good to see. My question is mainly, what is on the other side for students and teachers who leverage this? And asking the question, what does this look like as far as impact to your home county? Is there adequate access to ACT prep? And what does this mean for them to have access to something like this?
I feel like test prep is very siloed. Only specific individual students who can afford it are getting access to it. And students often don't know the importance of the ACT, and those students are just being left behind. And a program like this is needed to be able to give them that opportunity to reach their full potential.
Thank you, and super sharp.
Thank you.
We're back for some more trivia. Can you believe we have amazing entrepreneurs like this in Eastern Kentucky? I'm not surprised, but it's so good to see. We're having a little mic check. There we go.
Is this on? Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Let's give it up one more time for Kyle, everybody. Woo. All right, hit us with it.
All right, what was the name of the horse that won the first Kentucky Derby on May 17th, 1875 at Churchill Downs? Not everybody at once now. Yeah? No.
Sorry. Wah, wah.
It is Aristides. So the main...
Somebody's got to get it.
Oh, well,
We gotta give it away.
Sorry about that. Well, no one else had their hand up. So I
Hey,
assume
that
meant
was
they
a
didn't know.
participation award. We're going to give you that at LA. It's all good.
So the main ones that you've heard of, Man o' War, actually never won the Derby, and Secretariat was in 1973. So those are the big ones.
Awesome. Thanks. See you in a minute. All right, next up, we have, I give up on the clicker. We have Elizabeth Schroer. Let's welcome her to the stage.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth Schroer, and I'm the owner of Reimagines in downtown Somerset. I started Reimagines as a high school teacher. My mom's a teacher as well, and she was looking for something to decorate her classroom door. And so she had a Cricut, and she wanted me to be able to create a decal. She didn't want to have to learn how to use that machine. So I created a decal just with black vinyl, and it became so popular within the school, and she encouraged me to sell them, and I listed them on Etsy and started selling them right away. And so that led to the problem that I didn't realize I was solving, but people want a personalized product. They want something that's special. They want that one thing. They don't want the order minimums. They don't want to have to buy 50 of them. And so I really solved that problem. My customers and I design things together, and I'm able to print them using my technology and the highest quality materials to really bring their ideas to life. So here you'll see my UV printer. That prints directly on wood, metal, leather, and plastic. It cures it automatically, so the way it works is it has an inkjet that runs across, and then there's a UV light on either side of that inkjet, and so it cures it instantly. So when you pull out the notebook or lunchbox or whatever you've printed on, it's ready to go. Another great thing about the UV printer is you can build up texture. You can actually print Braille signage with it. But what I like to do that you'll see here is I'm able to enhance logos by putting the texture down and then some color on top of that. I also use V-Bond ink, which is safe for kids and pets. I do a lot of family products that will be around those people. You're also seeing my large format printer cutter. I upgraded from the Cricut to that machine. It does full color. I can do things from stickers to clings to banner, all the way up to car wraps and canvas. So one of the first things that I designed was for myself as a high school teacher. I couldn't find something that was stylish and modern and that would work for all ages. And so I designed the Modern Terrazzo collection. I have 2 of these collections that are actually printable downloads. So the teachers pay, they download it, they print it themselves, and decorate their classrooms. Works out great for me because I'm able to have products I don't have to really maintain, and the teachers continue to purchase them. I'll be adding another one of these collections this year as well. I also do physical products that go with that. So static cling is a good example where teachers can have their name and the clings on the whiteboard. I also do things that are just from scratch. So this was a first birthday party. The mom came to me and she knew she wanted a theme for First Trip Around the Sun, but she couldn't find the decor that would go with her colors and have her son's name. And so we created this collection together, and I was able to design invitations and then make signage and stickers and things to go along with the party. Whenever I create things like this, I add the product line to my website. So I've actually sold First Trip Around the Sun birthday party theme packs all over the United States. I also do a lot of special gifts, whether I do custom lunch boxes or Moleskine notebooks have been really popular with businesses giving gifts to their employees. I also partner a lot with local artists. I found that I don't have the time that I'd like to do the design, and so I partnered with these artists. They have beautiful things, but oftentimes they're just creating something for a client, or maybe even just because it's something they enjoy creating, and it doesn't always go as far as it could. And so I take their designs and turn them into products, whether that be canvas prints, Moleskine notebooks, stickers, lunchboxes, you name it. These artists' designs can be on it. Each artist has a section on my website, and they're able to drive traffic to each other and also to the site, which is great. And each time something is sold, they receive a commission. I also get to help other local businesses, which is probably my favorite part, whether that be, I've got Dakota's product right there as well, and labels and things like that. I really like working with other businesses to bring their ideas to life as well. So I've sold to all 50 states and 16 countries. It's really cool to be able to have an e-commerce business right from Somerset. It truly is a global business, and that's been very exciting. My competition, they have the high order minimums. You have to order 50 of something. There's limited design work, and there's just templates and things, so they really lack the personal touch that I have. So our revenues, I've been really excited because the year-to-date 2022 revenues are up 347% over last year, which is well over what I projected. I've always been profitable, and it just continues to grow as I add these products. So the team behind this is my family, my boys, my mom, my husband. Without them, I wouldn't be able to have this business. And in fact, my youngest stays with me during the day, and he dances every time we make a sale. So I think we have a future entrepreneur in the house here. So what I would do with the money, so I would get a rollover table. What that would do for me is I'd be able to laminate, and anything that's outdoor or car wraps, those big jobs, need to be laminated. And right now I have to drive 20 minutes there and 20 minutes back to get something laminated. Those are high-paying jobs, which would be great. But also I could keep my printer running all the time. I do a lot of small batch personalized stuff, and I don't use the printer as much as I could. So it'd be awesome if I could have that printing all the time while I'm doing the design work and things like that. You can also use it to apply, like you see there, transfer tape or signage to a piece of metal. And all those things right now I do by hand, and it's very tedious. You got to get it just right. So this would help with that as well. And so hopefully I can get the rollover table and enhance my business. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a great presentation. I really appreciated your opening story. That stuck out to me. Can you help us understand a little bit more? I was really interested to hear your mention of being able to print texture, print braille, things like this. There's a lot of different directions that you could go into with this business. You could stay the same and keep it as an e-commerce business. You can scale and sort of put this capacity in other places to sort of duplicate or franchise out in a way. I could even see you making modifications to the printer over time as you start to learn about it. Can you talk to us a little bit more about how you protect your competitive advantage in a business like this?
Yes, so a lot of people have that large format printer cutter that I showed you, but not very many people have a UV printer. And so that's really what makes me different. That's great for prototyping, so printing directly on a 3D printed material, for example. That's some things that I can do. And once they see something that's UV printed, it really changes their perspective. I have a lot of customers that will switch from going to a regular sticker label, which I make as well, to something that's UV printed because it creates a really luxurious looking packaging. So I think the UV printer really sets me apart.
Thank you.
Nice. Could you talk more a little bit about who your target market is specifically?
Yeah, so it started with teachers, and since then it has expanded into really teachers and moms purchasing things for their children, and also small businesses as well. So I serve lots of different markets with the different products that I have, but it's a lot of moms buying things for their kids or buying things for their classroom.
Talk about the artist partnering. If money were no object, how big could that get?
Huge.
And then what part of that business model would you extend? What would you really like to do if you could?
Yes, so what I loved about the artist collection is that it keeps the products fresh while giving them an outlet to express their creativity. I'm always looking for new artists to add to the program. What I would really need is the product mock-ups and things like that take time. So I would like to hire someone to help me with that side of things as well. They could help me mock up the different products. I've printed so far things that I've tried, like the moleskin notebooks and the lunch boxes. That can always expand. I can print directly on canvas. I can print directly on, wood signage, or metal has been very popular too for photography and things like that. So I'd love to expand that program, and really the sky's the limit with that.
Excellent. Just a quick question because we have under a minute. Any artists from Kentucky yet you partnered with?
Two.
Fantastic.
Yes, two of my
Thank
artists
you.
are from Kentucky. Yeah, Colleen Turner and Danny Ford.
Awesome. I'll have to look out for it. Thank you.
Yes.
Let's give it up one more time for Elizabeth. One of my favorite things about working with Appalachian businesses is their willingness to collaborate. And if that was not a perfect example, I don't know what was. So thank you, Elizabeth, for always wanting to collaborate with others, including another finalist here, Dakota. So that was awesome to see. All right, let's have another trivia question.
Okay, this Kentucky singer-songwriter was born in Butcher Holler in Johnson County, Kentucky, and is known as the Queen of Country Music.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. That was quick. Great job. Great job. All right. Next up, we have Kevin Poole. Let's give it up for Kevin.
How are you doing today? I spent the last 3 weeks practicing my speech in a tractor, so bear with me. I'm here to talk about Farm Huggy. I am the CEO of a company called Hemp Cattle Company, which is what we're not going to talk about. What we're going to talk about today is a small part of how I treat the animals while I'm making beef for Hemp Cattle Company. It's using an invention of mine that's called Farm Huggy. All right. Nobody's ever had a hard time hearing me, so what it does is basically, to be specific, it is a semi-isothermic, self-retracting bottle that I invented that features a cool pack. Now that might be total jargon to most people, but it is basically the last link in a cold chain on a billion-dollar industry. So Farm Huggy keeps insulin, it keeps vaccines, and it keeps medicine cold for up to 8 hours. That may not mean much to most people, but it is vital. There's no point in vaccinating any of your animals. And I'm going to talk on the agriculture side, because when you invent something, you don't know exactly what it's going to actually be used for. And I invented this a while back, but I've been using it on the farm for 2 years. And the peace of mind that it brings me that I am vaccinating my animals, and obviously everybody knows how important vaccines are these days, which has been tremendously frustrating for me the last couple of years during a pandemic with this invention, not being able to get out there. But what they don't realize is that there's no point giving them the medicine if it's not viable. And so if you're giving medicine that's viable, you're saving people's lives. My invention basically, it keeps the medicine cold for 8 hours. You can freeze it, you can refrigerate it, you can do whatever you need to do. It also protects it from breakage. So if you have a glass bottle of a $400 bottle of Draxxin, it will keep it cold, and you can throw it on the ground. It keeps it from breaking. One of the major problems with farmers these days is they're kind of old school, and they've come out with a lot of inventions that basically the gun, and the old school farmers don't trust the technology. They want to see the actual needle go into the bottle. They want to see the medicine go into a syringe, and they want to see the medicine go into the animal. When it comes to insulin, a lot of people don't know that there's an insulin shortage in the world. Diabetics every day are forced to buy insulin, which is very expensive. And when they don't, if insulin is kept cold, it is good forever. So in other words, you can use insulin whenever you want to and not have to buy anymore if you can just keep it cold. And I thought to myself, why is that not being used? And if you expose it to room temperature, which most diabetics have to do, insulin expires in 28 days, so they have to go out and rebuy more. Obviously, I'm talking about the agriculture uses. I've already talked about the diabetics, the medical field, military applications, the missing link in a billion-dollar industry. It's the missing link in a cold chain. It fits any size bottle. I'm going to go back to this picture right here. It fits any size bottle. What you see on the right-hand side is a 50-dose bottle, a 100-milliliter bottle, plastic. And then you got the next size all the way down to the insulin on the left. So I had a veterinarian tell me that I basically had to get it so it fits any size bottle. And so he helped me come up with an adapter that's made out of styrofoam. And I've been using this from any type of live viral or any type of glass bottle medicine that costs money. Let's switch fields of use. My competition. All right, now what you see on the right-hand side there is a vac cooler, and you can imagine sitting in front of a head chute with a live animal in front of it, and you have to pull out a repeating gun, which basically is a vial full of medicine, and you have to squeeze the trigger, and you think you vaccinated the animal. You hope you vaccinated the animal, because sometimes you pull the needle out and the vaccine comes out with the syringe. And this is sitting in front of you, right in front of the head chute, and you're tripping over it. And there's no logistics that work out with this. And this is the only competition out. So you literally have an industry that has vaccines for animals and insulin that literally they spend millions of dollars keeping it cold to sell to you. And then the farmer is left with the actual vaccinating of the animals, and there's nothing keeping it cold. So it's lighter than the cooler. Its ease of use is better. Its versatility. You actually trust that you're getting the medicine into the animal. Like I said, I'm just speaking about agriculture uses right now. There's no exposure to sunlight, temperature, and most importantly, what people don't realize, it's not just the outside ambient temperature that is exposing the medicine to. It is your hot hand. So the same way that you're holding a Pepsi or a beverage in your hand, how long do you have before that beverage turns to a different temperature than what you originally bought it? Plus, my farm Huggy is only $25 or less. Okay, so this is all about exposing Wonka farming, which is a new way of farming right now. I can't go into detail right now about it, but you can ask me questions later. I'm exposing the first of it right now. I want to explore the options. I haven't even released this to the public. I want to expedite manufacturing by involving kids on the college level, on an e-commerce level, and expand from there. My team is my wife, my kids in the back here. A little shout out to them. But what I've realized is that anyone is welcome. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean that it belongs to you. All right, the $1 million question. I am trying to change how farming is done forever. Provide a safer environment. If a farmer is not rushed by the exposure of the vaccine, he's providing a safer animal, coworker, and himself. And you can get into farming if it's safer. What'd you think?
It was fantastic, and can't wait to try hemp beef.
Oh, yeah, well, sure.
Thanks for sharing. Love the innovative nature, and you seem like you're on the bleeding edge of making things better and safer, and I feel in better hands.
Trying to. Time will tell.
Yeah, in that way, change is good. But you talked about the old timers. change is hard.
Yes.
Tell me about the difficulties. Tell us about the difficulties it's going to be to get folks to adopt, or are they beating down your door?
To adopt this program, most people, when I took it to one show, I've only exposed it one time, people embraced it. They saw the need. People that are agriculturally inclined understand what that exposure is like and how difficult it is. They realize the pressure situation of bringing live animals into a isolated area with human beings is probably the most dangerous thing. So anything, once I start talking about making the environment safer for them, it becomes an easier path whether you're old school or new school. That's what the Wonka farming is all about. I'm going to run into issues because I'm trying to change everything.
Yes.
Farm Huggy is my avenue to reach those that may not have an open mind because we have it in common. Everybody knows that a bottle of Draxxin, which is an antibiotic that a lot of farmers use, costs like $450. And if you break a bottle of Draxxin, you're out $450. Mm-hmm. So $20 spent keeping it from breakage and keeping it from sunlight, and the little bottle that used to roll around in your Chevy truck all day long, even if it's not used on a coal pack, it's still doing work. So you can use it when you're not necessarily vaccinating animals in a working facility. You can, it's dual purpose. You can use it later on.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, Kevin. I'm sure I've talked to you on your tractor before. Thank you for being an awesome farmer in Kentucky.
That time flew by ridiculous. This guy's crazy.
We
Holy
appreciate
cow, I
him.
was jamming it in, wasn't I? Oh.
Really quick question for you.
Sure.
Farm Huggy is awesome. There is a theory out there that says simple solutions are the best solutions, but it leads way to being duplicated. How are you keeping from being duplicated?
I have acquired a utility patent. I originally had a provisional patent on it, but I acquired a utility patent with some help. I've patented a lot of the inventions that I've done. Can it be copied? Probably. I think the secret is really in that self-retracting telescoping bottle and how I made it. That's going to protect me. Obviously, you can go get a can koozie somewhere and get a magnet sewed on the side. As a matter of fact, I got it from a golf scramble. I saw the magnet on the thing, and I rode around with my Pepsi on a golf scramble on the actual thing of the truck, and I realized I was driving around like a madman. I got to stop. There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And it's still stuck to the golf cart.
Thank you.
You want more? No?
I think that was it.
You're out?
Let's give it up one more time for Kevin. I think most of our team has spoken to him once or twice while he's in the tractor, and that is true dedication right there. He is going to take a call in the tractor. All right, you know what time it is. Let's give away some L8.
It's trivia time. All right, how many states border Kentucky? We're looking for a number. Correct. Those are Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia.
Awesome job. That was said with some confidence. All right, next up we have Daniel Grider and Charles Young.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Well, we are EmerySoft, grit, innovation, and great software. My name is Dan Grider, this is Charles Young, and we are co-founders of EmerySoft. EmerySoft is a software development company, website software development company based right here at Eastern Kentucky. Oh, I'm sorry, was I supposed to be doing that? Nope. They were going to Yeah, so we founded Emerysoft, software development company based right here out of Eastern Kentucky. So at Emerysoft, we would say, don't you want my online review, baby? Everyone wants to be wanted, everyone wants to be liked, but you especially want people to like your business and tell their friends and family and everybody else about it. Now, in our digital world, how do they do that now? Online review platforms. And I think you maybe know what I'm talking about. Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews. They literally now provide an opportunity for people to go and talk about your business, endorse and recommend your business to their friends, their family, and the general public. So why are these online reviews so important?
Dan, that's a great question. You know, building a good digital presence is vital to the success of your business. Negative reviews can ruin your online reputation. According to Big Commerce, 84% of customers trust online reviews as much as they would a personal recommendation from a friend or a family member. According to Forbes, 97% of consumers use the internet to find local businesses, and according to Search Engine People, online reviews are the 5th most significant parameter that determines the rank of a business. According to Terakeet, an industry-leading online growth consultant, consumers are willing to pay up to 22% more for products if the company has good reviews.
So managing your online presence is crucial to the growth and success of your business. There's an ever-expanding list of online review platforms, especially if your business has multiple locations. Business owners and managers need a way to organize the data in one place, and they need a way to generate more positive reviews on these platforms. So what's the solution? Our product, Review Ally. Review Ally is our online reputation management software. Review Ally organizes all your data in one place and does all the hard work for you. It can pull reviews from up to 80 different review platforms. This makes managing your online presence easier than ever. With an intuitive dashboard dedicated to your business, Review Ally is more than a product. It is literally your online Review Ally. So, how does it work? It's very simple. Review Ally pulls your reviews into its software and lets you see where you are, where your reviews are, where you may have bad ones, and where there's room for opportunity. Number two, you have those opportunities to create more reviews, so it allows you to do that by providing you a way to text, email, or even use a vanity URL to ask your customers to submit an online review to you on one of these platforms. It even has a filter built in so that negative reviews are taken away to somewhere where you can deal with them. Once you've built up more online positive reviews, you can actually share those with our website widget that allows you to show those reviews right on your website. So what's our target, or excuse me, let's go ahead and take a peek under the hood here. We got some screenshots here. So what you're looking at here is a real dashboard with data. You can see it's got reviews. It has the new reviews. You can check your locations, your contacts, your reviews, all from an easy-to-use dashboard. When you pull in you can look at all your reviews very easily all in one place. You don't have to go all around looking for them. They're all here. You can see names, the source, and what the score was, and when they did the review. You can actually load your customers in from a spreadsheet or one by one, see who they are, and see when they were put in, and see when's the last time you sent them a text message or an email asking them to review you. We also have reporting, so you can actually see how you're doing and check your score on each platform. What's our target market? Small businesses, medium businesses, startups, digital marketing agencies. Any business that is affected by online reviews is a good candidate and needs our solution. Existing businesses that recognize the importance of elevating their online reputation, startups that would greatly benefit from the influx of online exposure and positivity, businesses that want to keep their online presence going well and have more positive reviews, and digital marketing agencies that would like to use our product for their existing clients. What's our competitive advantage? There are competitors out there. There are software products like this on the market. We have a competitive advantage because of our practicality, our ease of use, our price. We're very competitively priced. Our personalization and use of the vanity URL function, which is not, our competitors do not have in most situations, and then our position, our market understanding. Our software is designed to be easy to use. Our pricing is very affordable for the value that you get. Our unique function and personality for our vanity URL, which I'll show at the very end of the presentation, gives us a very unique feature that a lot of our competition does not have, and we have a proven track record and experience in the industry. So why will Review Ally be so successful?
Well, according to Google, there are over 1.1 million businesses on Google Maps with reviews. 25% of these businesses have one review or none at all, which leaves over 250,000 businesses that need this solution. Review Ally is already in beta with over 70 active managed business locations and has collected over 14,000 reviews. We are already generating revenue and getting feedback from our customers. We have the site live, you can go view it today, and we have a marketing company ready to start marketing campaigns.
So what's that mean for us? Right now, the next steps for us are finishing some of the last bit of development that we'd have. We estimate between $3,000 and $4,000 just to finish up the last bit of features that we need from the feedback that we got from our customers in beta. We have some testing and then launching a marketing strategy that we have put together that estimates about a $1,500 a month marketing strategy scaling to $2,500 with a goal of cost per acquisition of $100. Estimated time to reach 100 customers is 6 to 12 months. Now, what's that mean in terms of profitability? Based on 100 locations paying our retail price of $79 per locations after introductory pricing, the cost for us is $29 per location. That includes your hosting, your usage costs, your labor. So at at 100 locations, at profit at $50 per location, we have $5,000 per month. Scaling that to 500 locations, our margin increases to $64 for a monthly net profit of $32,000. Review Allies is poised for success, and we hope we will be your online review ally. Thank you, we appreciate that. And if you enjoyed the presentation, go check out our vanity URL at reviewemerysoft.com. You can give us a positive review right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I am wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the customer side of this, the person leaving the reviews. How do they opt in if you ask them, for a review? And then how do you manage trust if you are hiding bad reviews? Can you say more on that?
You can actually go there right now. If you go to reviewemerysoft.com, you can actually experience that for yourself right now. You can leave us a positive review. But essentially, it comes in and asks you an easy question. Would you recommend the business, yes or no? If it's no, it very easily takes you to a form that you fill out, the experience that goes to the business, and they're able to respond to that customer. If not, it pops you right into Google or Facebook where they can leave a review, so it's a very easy experience. People trust Google and Facebook, the reviews, that's very simple. So it's literally a one screen before that, and then it takes them right to the place. We've seen a lot of the testing that we have is very positive for them going through that process easily. The difficulty comes in getting the business to use it, not so much in getting the people to write the reviews.
And have you found on average you are increasing the positive reviews for businesses that use it?
For businesses that use it, we definitely see them increasing their reviews exponentially, yes.
How hard is it going to be for the competitors to replicate your competitive features?
So the competitive feature with the vanity URL, they could replicate that. We don't see them doing that because a lot of them are already running in a certain direction. They're large, and they don't have the nimbleness that we're going to have. That feature is going to be difficult to reproduce when you already have a product and a mindset with a customer. So that's already, that train is already left for them. So.
How aware are localized small businesses of the impact of reviews? I know for most businesses that are in urban areas are pretty familiar with the review process and systems. What about the hometown mom and pops? Do you guys have a plan for adoption?
So that grows all the time. In the digital world now, the people and businesses that we talk to all the time, and we also work in the marketing space to a degree, constantly is finding a frustration there. And the frustration also comes from when they are not so tech savvy, but they know they need to do it, and they need a solution like that. When they see the solution that we have, it's usually like a relief. And so we've seen very positive feedback from that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give it up one more time for Daniel and Charles. Be sure, before you, at the networking event, be sure to go back to their booth. They are giving away 1 free year of subscription to Review Ally at their booth, so go enter for that. Let's do another. I'm gonna pass it over to you. I'm getting tongue-tied over here.
All right. What year did Kentucky become a state?
Yes. She had her hand up, yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
Awesome, great job. Thanks, Kristen. All right, get ready to make some noise for our final finalist, Justin Matthews.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin Matthews. I'm the co-owner, and if you're familiar with the brewing industry, I have a beard, therefore I am the head brewer. For Aridness Brewing, it's pronounced Aridness. It's Latin for river. If I tried to tell you guys the story behind it, it would take more than my 7 minutes of allotted time, so if you have, just see me afterwards if you want to know the story. We are a tea and tap house located in Russell, Kentucky. We don't so much have a problem that we're trying to solve, but we have an opportunity. You see, we brew beer on site, we make craft teas on site, and we also have obviously merchandise. We have noticed that a lot of customers outside of the Eastern Kentucky region have wanted to, they want the tea, they want mail order. You can go on Etsy and you can order tea, but people want our tea. My wife, she is a self-trained herbalist. She uses all natural ingredients. Some she grows. The ones that she can't grow, she gets from local Kentucky farmers and growers. If she can't get them in Kentucky, she reaches out to Appalachia. So we really do source as much of our ingredients as possible. Same with the beer. My grain comes out of Louisville. The hops, I wish there were hops around here, but there's really not. But we do have the opportunity through online sales, through mail order, to increase the sales of some of our products. Like I said, we have our tea line is Appalachian Folkology. That's actually a picture of one of the tea blends that my wife makes. And my favorite part is the brew house. It's a 1-barrel system. I'm able to produce 35 gallons of beer at once. Just to kind of give you an insight, we opened in January of 2022, brewed our first batch in February, and we've gone from producing about 60 to 90 gallons to last month, we produced 296 gallons of beer. People in the area like it. People want it. We'd also have an opportunity to can the beer for to-go sales. A lot of people want the beer to go. We're not able to offer it at this time. We have a canning system that's a little bit underperforming that we still haven't mastered, to be honest. Like I said, our products and services, we do tea, loose leaf tea, tea merchandise. We do craft beer brewed on site. We also have specialty cocktails and wine. We have merchandise, and we also have small bites. And what we've noticed is that our lowest performing products are our teas and our merchandise. Craft beer dominates our offerings, but we really have an opportunity to increase the sales of our teas and our merchandise by having online ordering available. Who's our target market? Obviously, craft beer drinkers. Millennials, we noticed that 52% of millennials drink craft beer. Tea enthusiasts, didn't know they existed, but they do. What we've learned is a lot of young adults are drinking more flavored tea. It's the second largest beverage in the world, and between the years of 2013 and 2021, tea sales grew 26.9%. We also cater to families. We have a very family-friendly environment. We're not a bar. We are a brewery. We have games. We have things for kids. We make it so that it's family-friendly, and once again, the young professionals are in our target market. And that's my super cute nephew drinking tea, not beer. Competition, right now, we're the only game in town. There's no brewery within 25 miles of us. You have to cross West Virginia or Ohio borders, but we do have competition from local bars and restaurants, your Applebee's, your local mom and pop shops, some of which want to carry our beer. Coffee shops, there's a couple coffee shops in the area that represent our competition. There are no tea houses, but the coffee shops do sell tea. And obviously online specialty shops like your Etsy's and other mail order places, that's really our only competition right now. What makes us stand out? First off, we're all Appalachian. I grew up in West Virginia, now live in Eastern Kentucky. My wife is from Eastern Kentucky. We focus heavily on the Appalachian area. All of our products are handcrafted. We are a craft brewery, a craft beverage location. Everything is handcrafted all the way down to our specialty cocktails. We focus on the local Appalachian aspect. We have an on-site food truck that makes handcrafted, delicious food and family-friendly activities like we have yoga classes and whatnot. Business model, our key activities right now are the tea and tap house. Revenue is all through sales of products. We don't, like I said, we don't have an online store. We don't have a way to do online sales right now. Right now, our costs are heavily tied up in production. Most of our money is going right back to producing the goods. As you can imagine, it takes money to make tea, to make beer. We have several key relationships. Dragonfly Outdoor Cafe is the food truck on site. We've partnered with them. They're the only food source available other than our Small Bites menu. We're members of the Kentucky Guild of Brewers, which is a state agency that helps with legislative issues for breweries, that help kind of connect people in the industry. The Brewers Association, and also I've recently enrolled in Madisonville Community and Technical College Fermentation Science Program, and we're working on establishing a partnership with them to where we would be an Eastern Kentucky lab for people interested in brewing could come to our brewery to do lab work and to learn the ropes. Our team, myself, Justin Matthews, like I said, I have 12 years of brewing experience, but I still have a full-time job as an economic research and analyst for Marshall University. My wife, Kristen, is the other owner. She's a self-taught herbalist. She has a background, she did corporate marketing, so she's our social media, she does all the stuff that I don't want to do. And Chris Matney, our assistant brewer, him and I became fast friends after meeting at a function. He also has 12 years of brewing, so the two of us, we kind of piggyback. We make our recipes together and do all the brewing. So what are we asking for? Sorry. About $9,200. This would give us inventory management software. I'm so sorry. An upgraded can seamer, labels, packaging, cans. We have a line item for artwork because we're really pushing the Appalachian aspect. We want local artists and artisans to have the opportunity to make our can art, to design things for us, and we want to give back to them. Digital shipping. Why are we a good candidate for this award? We're doing this entirely ourselves. This is self-funded. We've not had any investors. We've taken out loans. We've built stuff. This has literally been an effort based on us. A lot of the build out, you can see pictures that we did. We've painted, we've done everything. We're just two Appalachians with a decade-long dream, and we finally had the guts to do it. As scary as it was, I'm not a risk taker. My wife is the dreamer, so she kind of pushed. But I'll entertain any questions from the judges. I didn't drink enough water.
Nice job. I really appreciate how you tied it to local. I really appreciate that, especially being from Kentucky. How important is regionalism in your company? And is there room to build in more opportunities for tourism?
Absolutely. So we're part of a bigger group called Revitalize Russell. The downtown Russell area is changing. Within the past year, businesses have opened, and there's a huge push to revitalize the area. They're bringing in businesses. They're trying to make it a tourism destination. All the local businesses downtown are working together and helping cross-promote. As far as regionalism, we want as many Kentucky, as many Appalachian businesses to work with us. It's all about finding the partnerships that work on both sides and making sure that everyone is getting what they need out of the partnership, but pushing Appalachian, Kentucky, we cross over into West Virginia or Ohio if needed, but it's all about Kentucky first and foremost, then the greater Appalachian region as a whole.
Thank you.
Awesome. I love the regional focus as well. And congrats on taking the huge risk.
Thank you. It was scary. It was real scary, but.
We really admire the courage. So I was just wondering, what would it take for you to actually get to take this full time? And is that, of course, the end goal?
Yes. Hope nobody from my work is watching, but yes. Eventually, I would like to do it full time. I was just saying earlier that I don't think there's ever going to be. I can't sit down and predict when is going to be the best time, but I'll know when it is. It'll just be a feeling. Eventually. I would hope within the next 5 to 6 years, if not sooner. I'm the kind of more, I don't take a lot of risk, and I put a lot of thought into stuff. So while I'm thinking 5, 6 years, my wife's like, oh yeah, like 1, 2 years, you'll be good. So we'll see what happens.
What risks will you take if you get into canning? How are you going to scale and expand and grow? And how big do you want to get? Is there too big?
Yes and no. Right now, like I said, we're 1 barrel. Eventually, want to upgrade to 2 to 3 barrels. That won't be possible at our location that we're at. So we've talked about that if needed, we could rent an industrial space just for brewing, bring all the beer back to the tap room, keep the 1 barrel system open for pilots, and maybe do some sours and things like that. Kind of the problems we have with canning right now is the demand. We don't have the ability, well, right now, like I said, the canner we have is not very reliable, but the challenges would be finding the time to do it in addition to making sure that the taproom demand is fulfilled. We eventually were able to self-distribute due to Senate Bill 15 that was passed during COVID. We want to be able to sell our beer to local restaurants, so it's just finding that perfect mix of what we can have to go, what we can have on site, what we can get out distributed, and everything like that.
Okay. It's time. Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.
I'm going to give them a little bit of a shout out. If you are up towards Russell this weekend, they're having the Russell Railroad Days. It was pretty tricky for Justin to be here because they're the main beer vendor this weekend. So give him an extra big round of applause. All right, we've got one last trivia question. Go ahead.
This one is pretty interesting, so we saved it for last. What Kentucky city was built in a meteor crater? Blue shirt, yes, you got it. So located in Bell County, the crater is approximately 3 miles wide and is estimated to be around 300 million years old. Pretty cool.
Good job. All right, now comes the hard part. Judges, you all have a really hard job because how incredible were those businesses? Let's give it up one more time for them. Awesome. So at this time, the judges, I'm going to take you all to deliberate in a back room. You all feel free to get up, network, view the display tables at the back, but before you get up, really important, we do have a crowd favorite award this year. I'm going to put this little brown box up here on the stage. Write down who you think the winner should be. There's some little note cards there. Put it in the box. So sorry. And we're going to have a crowd favorite. So that's new. So everybody dismissed for just a few minutes. Can we go ahead and give another huge round of applause to our fantastic judges? Yes, you all can come on up. Did Kelby go out? Kelby, are you in the crowd? Did you go sit down? He is, okay. Yeah, if you all want to head back up to your seat, that's fine. All right, we have a very special guest with us that I would like to introduce. He's going to say a couple words. We have Rick Newsom, who's the president of Community Trust Bank, our sponsor that made all this possible tonight. So, Rick, come on over.
Thank you all for having me, and it's just a tremendous honor to be here. I had preconceived notions about what I thought the pitch contest would be about, and who would be involved, and what the ideas would be. And I was telling these ladies backstairs and the judges, Josh, that this far exceeded anything that I thought it would be. And I am absolutely impressed beyond anything you could think about. It's just great business ideas that we've actually heard at our own bank, some of these. And, there's 32 million small businesses in this country. And 25 or 26 million of those businesses are single owner operated with no paid employees. Small business is the backbone of our country. It's the engine that runs our economy. And 47% of all of the employees in this country, 61 million, work in a small business. So small business is where it's at. And in our institution, we're in 3 states, over $5 billion corporation. Small business makes us run. It's what makes us who we are today. So to be a part of this and to provide the funding for this on these awards is a thrill. It's an honor, and we really appreciate your turnout today. And again, I'm so impressed with the presentations today. Thank you.
Thank you again, Rick. So I promise I'm not trying to build suspense, but there are a few housekeeping things that I just want to make everybody aware of, because I know as soon as we announce winners, this place is going to erupt. So again, each finalist received a swag bag. So I want to shout out KYPTAC, Kentucky SBDC, SCAD, and Mountain Association. Thank you guys so much. You all were able to give some things. So each finalist really is going home a winner, because they're getting a big warm hug of support from all our amazing technical assistance providers. So thank you to them. Let's give them a big shout out. Thank you again to everybody, especially my team, the Community Trust Bank. We could not do this without you, our judges, our finalists, and all of you all for making this such a fun event. There will be shuttles directly following this from 5:30 to 9 that will take you down to the reception in downtown Hazard. There's lots of food, fun, all kinds of things. Go down there, have a great time. Appreciate you all being here. And now, for the big moment of truth, let's make some noise. Our third place winner is Kyle Mann with Upscore Test Prep. Kyle, if you can come up to the stage, there you come. If you can hang tight there for just a minute so we can grab a pic or two. Everybody give him another big round of applause. Awesome, thank you. Mason, you good? Perfect, thank you, Mason. Let's give Mason a shout out. He's been our, woo, there you go. This event would not be documented without him and our amazing production crew, so everybody deserves a shout out. Second place, we have Elizabeth Shore Reimagines. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Thanks, Mason. All right. And the moment we've all been waiting for. Do you think I should give crowd favorite now? I'm just kidding. Do you want a crowd favorite now? Okay. I hear you. So our crowd favorite winner, Elizabeth, don't go too far because you're the crowd favorite. I guess I could have not let you get so far away. Yep, you just hop on up here. You're good. That was a new award, and thank you all so much for participating. That's what makes these events fun. All right, everybody make the loudest cheer you possibly can because the first place winner is Dakota Hoskins Safari Car Wash. Let's hear one more cheer, guys. Let's give one more final round of applause to everyone that made this such a fun, fantastic night. Everyone's dismissed. Shuttles are out front. Go down to downtown Hazard. Have a blast. Have a party. Finalists, judges, Rick, my team, stick around for pictures, please. There is a balloon swag in the back if you want to take pics as well. Thank you all.